Welcome back, Charles. We're here.
Yes, this is the tips edition.
Come on.
Where we're going to talk about tips to support you with parenting from the outside. So what comes to mind for me is that we have to first create memories. So how do you create memories? Think about some of the memories that you've had in your life, the memories that stand out, right? So creating memories requires you to get creative. What does that mean? I got to make sure that I do some things different. So send letters, right? I had one father actually create an email in his daughter's name. And what he did was every time he thought about it, because he couldn't get in contact with her, he would write her an email to that email address, right? Those letters would store up and they would pile up. And when he was able to see her, he gave her all the emails that he's been writing 2 years prior to actually getting connected to her. Wow. So imagine the type of emotion that came out. So you can go on Google and create an email for free. So there's no excuse right there. And every time you think about her, every time you miss her, you send an email to that email address, okay? So that's one tip. Also collect pictures and videos, right? Videos of you talking to the camera. If you don't want to create an email and write to the email, create a video log. There's different apps for you to create a video log where you can store videos about your daughter, about your son in those videos to let them know the journey and the struggle that you're currently going through to get to them so they can know that it's not them. Many kids think that they're the issue while you're not present. Remember, your letters and email need to let them know that you're thinking about them all the time.
Wow. Yes. In addition to that, make drop-off memorable. Now, remember, when you're out there co-parenting, the pick up and drop-off, right? That's becoming like a tradition, is the norm. So you have to make those drop-off memorable. So what do I mean by that? When you drop the kids off, drop them with gifts. Give them gifts, right? Give them a book. Create a routine. What's gonna happen is that once they're in the house, they're gonna remember that. Once they're in the house, they're gonna talk about it among themselves, right? They're gonna talk about the fact that, and if mom or whoever in the house asks, oh wow, how was your day today? They're gonna talk about it. And so what's gonna happen, you planted seeds. So you may not be there physically, but you're there psychologically, right? And it's for those of us who have daughters, what you can do is send flowers. I did that with my daughters and she freaked out. She thought it was weird, but she remembered because of those Father's Day cards, she writes that, right? And also send gifts. Use technology to your advantage. That's so important. Think about all the technology that's out there, right? The creativity, right? And also remember that regardless of age, the child needs you. And I know this is saying about, we say that a lot, Charles, this whole thing about when you turn to 18, they're on their own. No, on the contrary, they're going to need you now more than ever. So find a way to stay engaged, especially to the text, the phone. Remember, texting is important too. One of the things that the dad always asks us, but what if I text, but she's not responding or he or she not responding? That's okay, but words are powerful. It's what you text. Remember, even by saying, hi, I'm just checking in, how you doing, I love you. Over time, you being consistent with positivity word. I mean, it melt down the children, man. So you planted seeds. So there's so many ways you can do that. So I hope those are very helpful. Yeah.
And one more thing, make sure that when you're talking to your kids, if you do have an opportunity to talk to them and you're outside the household, do not make the conversation about their mother or the other parent. The conversation is about you and them.
Yeah.
Right? Utilize and maximize the amount of time that you have to be in their presence by talking about them, asking them about their day, letting them know how much you care about them. Remember, you're creating memories.
Yep.
And you want to make sure that past relationships, issues do not interfere with the memories that you create. That time is delicate, so treat it as such. Also, if there are issues between you and the child's mother, make sure that you don't take it personal, right? Things have happened in the past, but remember, when it becomes personal, you have lost your role as a father and you will not be able to maximize that time. So what you can do, tell yourself, I'm here for my child. I'm here for my child. Yep. I'm here for my child. I'm going to get through this. I'm going to get through this. Things are going to be all right. Things are going to be all right. Do not give up. Do not give in. Okay? Be mindful of that.
Yep. And because you love your child, like Charles said, you got to add, I love my child. I love my son. I love my daughter. You got to create legacy, right? And one thing I want to add that's so important for you, is self-care. Make self-care a priority. Because the more you build yourself, right, physically, spiritually, mentally, the more you're going to develop is stamina. That's going to help you to remain engaged. All right. So when you tire, run out of tank, you fill up your tank with self-care. Do a lot of that. What it does is that it projects on the kids to see that, wow, dad is still around. One of the things that works for me was that word to be able accessible, access. So my thing is, You know, you got to do whatever you got to do to make sure that you're accessible to the kid. They have access to you, right? You may not come every single day. You're going to get used to that. But the question is, can you be accessible? Find a way. And how? Obviously, through the cell phones. And sometimes dad would feel like, yo, I'm paying the bills. But that's exactly the point. Because you're paying the bills, you are creating an environment so they can be having access to you. The self-care is so important, man.
And one other thing, Leonard, we got to think about that I want people to really understand. You have to find a way to get out of your own way. You have to get out of your own way.
Stay out of your own way.
If you are in your way, you're going to interfere with the quality of that relationship. What does it mean to get out of your own way? As my wife talked about in the first episode of Parenting from the Outside, when you are carrying the baggage of other people's stuff that did not have anything to do with you. Some of the people that you are carrying their baggage right now, they died a couple years ago. You're still walking around hurt from what they did 15, 10 years ago, 5 years ago. And even if they're still alive, you're still carrying that baggage. You have to make up in your mind that you're not going to allow any amount of baggage or any one situation to interfere with the role that you have as a father to your child. If you do, you are passing down trauma. You are passing down anger. You are passing down hurt. Get out of your own way. And matter of fact, while you get out of your own way, take the baggage along with you because it's not theirs and you don't want to pass that down. How do you do that? Remember that you are not to blame from anyone else's decisions or issues. Separate yourself from other people's negativity. Make sure that you don't take on that identity. When you are triggered, acknowledge that you are triggered. Engage in self-care like Leonard told you to, and make sure that you remember that you're the author of your ending of your story. You're the author of the ending of your story. What does that mean? You write your own ending. Nobody does. Not your mother's trauma, not your father's trauma, nobody's trauma. You write your own ending, okay?
Keep pushing, keep pushing, and keep pushing forward, even when it hurts.
Amen.